morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rick with Hit and Run Candlesticks, and you're watching the, Tuesday, September 29th, 2020 video blog. Thank you very much for being here. And I do want to reach out, and I want to apologize. I said yesterday, in yesterday's video, that I would get a video out answering all the questions. Well, honestly, I just crashed last night. I didn't get it done. So I am going to do it on this video. It's possible this video is going to be a little bit longer than normal. Maybe not. I'll see what I can do. But first, what we're going to do is look at the market, today's trade ideas. And there's only 4 that I'm adding to our overall watch list. And this is the watch list that I put on the scanner, stocks that I put out. Each day I add to a special hot list, and I went through it and I cleaned it up a little bit, and then what I'll do is I'll go in this morning and I'll post all these stocks in the video for you, or it'll be down in the chat. So after you watch the video, if you want to head down and look at that chat below, expand it, you can take a look and you will see the list that I'm following that I consider a hot list. Now, there's a whole lot of other stocks that are looking good as well. But these are just the stocks that I take from the morning video blog, the ones I post out here and talk about. I add them to a hot list, and I let the live trading alert scanner alert me when they need some attention. But I'll be passing that list along to you here. Like I say, down below in that chat area. All right, let me grab some water here. Thank you. Okay, so if you hang around after the trade ideas, I'm going to answer some of the questions that people ask me in the video blog from Saturday. Okay, so FNGU, excuse me. The FANG index. I love following this because it's the FANG stocks that seem to make the big difference right now. You know, the situation we're in with COVID and these big FANG stocks, they're terrific stay-at-home stocks, and they do make a difference in the market. You can see here we've got a low with a very slight upgrade on the higher lows. The grade is rising slightly, and we've got this top right in here. We blow through this. That sets up the buyers to come up and retest the September 2nd high up here. Right now we have a little bullish W pattern that's working. Right there. So if we take that, you can see that we've broken out over that bullish W pattern right now, over that center little hump right in here. So this is, I'm looking at this as being a little bit bullish right now. Price is back above the T-line. Price is back above the trend indicator. Now the T-line is not quite above the trend indicator. Well, let's just see what happens in the next couple of days. If we do start heading back down, we'll see price move down, possibly test this level, and then all long bets are off the table until the bulls step back in. But right now, with what I see in the market and the way I saw yesterday close, I have to be a little bit on the bullish side. Let's take a look at the SPY. SPY closed up. Again, the T-line is below the trend indicator. Price, however, is above the T-line and closed above the trend indicator. So with any kind of bullishness today, and let's just put a line underneath today's low, yesterday's low, right in here. With any kind of bullishness, that will turn that trend indicator green, and that will also drag the T-line up higher. Now, I don't know if the T-line will be above the trend indicator today, but in a couple of days, if we remain bullish, then the T-line will crawl above the trend indicator, and then that will set our trend up pretty nice. So far, we came from this morning star signal with a nice gap up yesterday, and we held very well into the close. So again, there's a little more work to do here. We still have to get across some of these resistance areas. But I do feel, based on the close yesterday, that there is a good chance we see a little bit more bullish yet to come. Now, if we put up this chart right here with the 50-period moving average, this is what we're concerned about. We're concerned that, oh yeah, we may pop up here, but if we start to sell in or around that 50-period moving average, that could drive us all the way back down. And that still puts the possibilities of the 200-period moving average being tagged. So we're still in a very dangerous area right now. Be very cautious. Be very diligent on the charts that you are trading. Okay, let's take a look at a few trade ideas here. I've got 4 of them that we're adding to our watch list, and a couple of them actually were already there, but they're looking like buys, and they're showing real promise as they went into the close yesterday. One of them is LB. You can see that LB here has been trending up. Price above the T-line, T-line above the Trendicator is green, indicating our trend is working. Right now I'm looking at profit target between 35.75 and 38.30 up here, which that gives us, depending exactly where it might be purchased, that gives us somewhere in the neighborhood of 18, maybe 19% profit zone up here. Now, we've been up a couple of days here. It looks like that we're going to pull back and make an inside day, and I love that sort of thing. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to put a line right in here across the day before yesterday. So let's see, this is Monday, Friday, across Friday and Thursday's candles right in here. And then I'm going to set the buy box up right here, just like that. So now what I'm going to be looking for is price to consolidate a little bit. Here we go. Consolidate a little bit, and then I'll look for an entry inside this green box based on our entry rules. And from there, let's just take the middle of that box. Yeah, we're still sitting at that 17 to 19% profit in here on LB. Another one I'm looking at is QCOM. Now, QCOM had a great breakout yesterday. Once again, I'm going to, let's do this. Once again, I'm going to come in here and put a line pretty much at yesterday's low. Yesterday's low, we've got a touch on the previous day, and then back over here, we've got some touches that might act as support. We're going to put the buy box in here, just like that. So I'll be looking to buy in this area. With a buy in this area, now I'm looking at somewhere around 10-12% profit on QCOM with a little pullback, or what we call PBO. So we have PBO is nothing more than a pullback opportunity. So we're looking for that opportunity when it pulls back, buyers, and then we're looking to buy. It does not have to come all the way down to these lows down here. It can be up into this area, and we can do the same thing. Nor would I be opposed to buying on a breakout. A breakout with an entry, 120, that puts your profit target in about 10%. Etsy, ETSY, I'm looking for 140 to 150 for targets up here. The 140 just challenges the August 10th high over here. We've had a nice low. Let me draw that out. A low to a high to a higher low, and you can see we've made a higher high now. So what I'm going to do is come over here and put a line at the top of this candle, this is where we broke out. So what I'm looking for is a better buy. I don't want to chase it. I want it to make me feel a little better. So by drawing that buy box, I'm looking for an entry inside this buy box. So we'll have a rally up, a pullback for this entry. Watch for those buyers. That setup that you may be looking for, I'll be looking for the setup I look for, and I'll be covering that in the trading room today. So if anyone is interested, make sure you're in the trading room here, and then we'll look for that to run up and challenge some of these targets, and that puts us somewhere in the neighborhood of 19-20%. Marvel. Now, I bought Marvel yesterday. I'm currently up 6%, 5.9% on Marvel. I bought it as we were just shortly after it started to break out of this downtrend line right here. Right now, I'm looking for 41.25, which is simply a challenge of the September 2nd high, and about 43 up here with some follow through. This line right here, let's go ahead and change that. Just stay with the colors we've been using. So I'm going to come right in here, and I'm going to put a line across these tops. That looks like a pretty good support area, or at least where I might buy the shot. So now we're going to put the buy box in there, lay it right on that line, and then I may look to buy more, add to it on a pullback, looking for that opportunity. So if you have a little consolidation in here for a day or 2 days or even a week for that matter, watch for that setup that you're that famous and your best setup here for an entry. Watch for that, and then we'll look for upward travel here to that 41.25, followed by approximately 43.50 here on the chart. All right, that's the trade ideas. Now, if you're interested in hanging around for a minute, I'm going to answer some of these questions that were sent to me. I appreciate it if you all do. If you like what you see today, please share it with your trading buddies and/or buddies. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It doesn't cost you a thing. And please leave any comments below. All right, let's take a look at some of these. So Doozer 283 asked me, along with the T-line, do you pair that with any other indicators for confirmation, such as RSI, VWAP, etc.? What I don't look for any of those, RSI, VWAP. What I do is I look at price action. I watch price action and the T-line, and I like the trend indicator. So I don't use any outside, I say outside. I don't use any indicators that can't be put right here on the chart. So I like moving averages, and the trend indicator, that's just the 17 exponential moving average, and you can change that to whatever you want. But I like using the trend indicator. I like using the T-line and price action. And then what I'm looking for is trend. So yesterday, when I bought this MRVL, what I saw yesterday, it started coming up on the LTA scanner. And what I saw was this candle breaking out right here. And at the same time, I noticed that, hey, we broke out here as well. Okay, my eyes can just see that. And then I can see this trend right in here. So here we've broken out, and we've tested, making not necessarily lower lows. We came down to this line, and pretty much that's where we held. We did come down and make higher lows, lower highs, and then we started breaking out. So that's what I look for. I try to put it all together here using the T-line, price action, trend indicator, and then chart patterns, and that's what these lines represent. And this green line represents the breakout and support. So Dozer 283, thank you very much. We have another question from Thomas. Great video in general, thank you very much. A stop loss around 5% is adequate in your eyes. Your stop should not be what my stop is, because we might have different size accounts. We have different temperaments on our risk and reward, things like that. So you really need to make a plan and decide what yours is. With that said, let's stay on this Marvel right here, and here let's get rid of this, and yeah, just that one, I guess. And actually, let's get rid of this. There we go. So if I bought Marvel up here, what I want to do is, well, first of all, Marvel broke out of resistance. See this line right here? This is resistance right there. Okay. See how we have the top? We actually have a top, a top, a top, a top, and all of them are so close to touching, being the same. We can bring it down so they all touch right in there. So that's resistance. When we break out, that becomes support. So what I'm really looking for, it's not so much 5% or 2% or 8%. What I want to do is buy near support, and that's what I did yesterday. When I bought MRVL, I bought near support being right here now. So now what I've got to look at is when I bought it, it was, I don't know, 39 and a quarter maybe. So by buying it, my stop was less than 2% when I first bought it. Now, as it moves up, what I'll do is adjust my stop up to support. So as it moves up, this is what it might do. We'll give it a little bit of a rest, and let's say it moves up. Well, now support gets moved to here. Okay, so I move it from this line right here. I'll move it up so that in case price comes back and it falls through, then I've made some money on it. Okay, so it's not so much about a certain percent. You certainly don't want to risk more percent than you can afford, but I don't want to just blanketly say that buy a stock and just put a 5% stop on there. That makes no sense to me. I want to utilize support and resistance to help with that. Hey, thank you, Thomas, for your question. I really appreciate it. Doug sent me a question here, and it says, Rick, this is the first time watching this, and I'm really impressed. Well, thank you very much, Doug. I will pass your site on two of my trading buddies. I would be interested in hearing how you determine which option to buy. I usually buy one strike out and 30 days. Okay, let's take a look at this. Again, let's stay with Marvel. So what I'm going to do is bring over my options chain here. All right. So what I'm going to do here is type in Marvel. All right. So let's, your question, how do I pick it? This is a very, very simple way to do it. And I do this all the time. This is all I do. And you do know that I only trade puts and calls. That's it. Directional puts and calls. So here's exactly what I do. I type in the ticker symbol, and then I go 50 days plus. 50 days plus. Now, I could have went to November, but I chose to go to January on this MRVL. The next thing, and for that matter, I could have went further. Remember, 50 days plus is what I'm looking for. Then what I want to do is I want to look for open interest. I want to make sure I have open interest. Now, on Marvel, I bought the January 35 calls, okay? January 35 calls. So that's right here. So I went for the open interest, and then I want to buy the delta. I want the delta to be, say, 65, well, around 70, okay, around 70. So I wouldn't have a problem with the 66 or the 70 or 73 delta. And you can see that I bought the 35s right here, and there's tons of open interest, and I chose the 73 delta. So 1, I go out 50 days plus. 2, I look for open interest and around a 70 delta. Okay, so that's how I pick it. Now there are hundreds of ways to do this, and there's people that do it way fancier than I do. But I keep it pretty simple. Just 50 days, open interest, delta. And who did this? Doug, thank you very much for your question. I appreciate it. Dana is asking, are you using single options or debit spreads for your directional trades? I buy very simple directional options and puts. So really, when it comes down to it, I'm betting that the stock is going to go up, or with a call, or I'm betting it's going to go down, and I use a put. Simple as that. So with Marvel, what I did is go to the month. I picked my strike price, and then I simply go to my, here, I'll bring this down. This is my ticket. So I go to the ticket here, and then just simply buy it, just like that. I buy to open. Nothing fancy, nothing whiz-bang about it. Just that simple. Let's see here. Zia, thank you, Dana, by the way, for your question. Zia says, Rick, thanks for doing this. How do you handle stop-loss targets in case there's a gap down, where a 3% stop might open up at 5% down? You know, the market is, these things happen, and there's nothing you can do to get around it. So if this is my stop, and if we gap down, so this morning, say we were to, let's see, do this, say gap down below my stop, you've got a simple choice to make. You can either get stopped out of it and be done with it, take your whipping, go to the woodshed, whatever you want to call it. Or you can hang on to it if you want, which I don't particularly recommend that. Where did we gap down to? A little bit of support maybe. Make that decision. What I will do more times than not is wait to the end of the day, because if it gaps down right away and I get out of it right away, there's nothing I can do. But if there happens to be support like this and it's in here, I might wait to the end of the day, because who knows? It might turn into something like that right there. And if it turned into something like that, there's a potential in the next couple of days it comes back up. But the fact of it is, it happens, and it happens to all traders, that you wake up one day and the stock gaps to the downside. You're just going to have to decide how you want to handle that. What is your trade plan? I just shared with you an idea for mine. One, I either close it out, or if I do see support, I'll wait to the end of the day and make that decision. Alrighty, thank you, Zia. Let's see, I'm going to get this one wrong. Oencia, I apologize if I destroyed your name there. It says, Rick, I'm a beginner trader and looking to learn simple option trading. How do you recommend to start? Thank you so very much. Well, the first thing is, do not lose your money. Your number one job is to preserve capital. In fact, I tell many traders that just start out, Don't even try to make money in the beginning. Let's learn how to trade first. Then we can make some money. So, how do you learn simple options? Look, you can ask questions here on YouTube. I'll do my best to answer it. You can ask questions to lots and lots of people out there. I'm sure they'll answer it. Or you could come into our trading room and be there for a few days. You'll probably learn a ton. We have a 60-day trial. And look, that's the only thing I can say to do. But to learn options, to learn how to trade in general, most traders will poke around, try to pull things off the internet, and they'll end up losing money. If you have money left, usually these people will go find a coach or a trading community to hang out in, and they will learn from that coach or that trading community. And then you'll learn the mistakes that you made. You'll learn ways to trade, a little tips, tips and tricks, how to manage your business of trading. Just say, I'm gonna grab a drink of water. There we go. Sorry, I talk too much, and then my throat really starts to dry out. So anyway, Osea, the best thing I can say is give us a try. We have a 60-day trial. It's only $49. Come into the trading room. You'll learn tons. We also have coaches you can hire that would, in a couple hours, could certainly get you off and running and started. So thank you very much for your question. Let's see. Keith is asking, let's see. Thanks, Rick, for another great video. Thank you. I'm interested in hearing and how you evaluate call options once you determine you like the price action on the stock chart and see there's a buying opportunity. Well, we covered that just a few minutes ago with this. I'm bringing the chain back up here. There we go. We covered that with the Marvel. And let me go over this just one more time. By the way, folks, the trick is not in the options, okay? That's not the trick. The trick is learning how to read a chart. This is where you want to spend your time, right here. Once I decided I like the chart, I come over here, type the symbol in, I go 50 days plus. And again, you could go February. There could be no problem with February, or May if you want to go out to May. You look at May and there's no open interest. So that would be out of the question. Now I ended up choosing January, 108 days, so 50 days plus. I want to look for open interest, 23,987. That's plenty open interest. And it just so happens it fits my delta numbers. In delta, I like to look, whoops, that's the wrong one. I like around 70, okay, around 70. So 73 is not out of the question. 66 is not out of the question. 70 would have worked. 1475 is plenty on the open interest for me. But I chose to go with the 73 delta and the 23,987 open interest. And that put me at the 35 strike. That's it. That's all I do. And then I buy it. As long as there's not a big bid and ask spread in there, I'll buy it. And that's it. Okay. So, hey, we're at the end of this. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate it. If you hung out and listened to all the questions, thank you so much. If you have questions, please feel free to type them in to YouTube. You can email them to me as well. And this is where I will answer them for you. I don't, again, if you're confused about how I do the options, please ask again. It took me a while too. If you have questions on the charts, let me know. I'll do what I can to help you. Remember, if you have trading buddies, share the video if you like it. If you think it's useful, share it out there. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. And I hope to see everybody in the trading room today, okay? You guys take care and have a fantastic week trading.